Welcome back. Hope you have gone through the earlier videos with respect to introduction to statistics, classification, tabulation, diagrams and graphs. In this video, I am going to explain measures of central tendency. Statistics is defined as the science of collection of numerical data, classification of numerical data, analysis of numerical data and interpretation of numerical data. So with respect to first point, collection, so already I have explained in the first video the collection, how to collect the data and the type of data, and the classification of numerical data. So classification, how to classify the data, so based on the observations, classification, tabulation and how to present the data, diagrams and graphs, using diagrams and graphs. Now coming to analysis of numerical data. How to do analysis? Using different statistical methods, we can analyze the data. The main objective of analysis is to get one single value. After that, at last, we will go for interpretation of numerical data. Let's consider raw data. These are the set of observations with respect to anything, plant height or population, in any way, number of students, number of plants in a field. So let's consider one type of data, raw data. So from this raw data, we can have one single value. And this is a discrete frequency distribution. From this also we can have one single value using different statistical methods. And also continuous frequency distribution also we can have one single value. This single value describes the characteristics of entire set of observations. This single value which represents the whole data. This single value represents the whole data. So how is the data? This single value just interprets that data. So for every type of data we can have the methods and we can have the one single value. This usually that single value in the center of the distribution, the central value. This measuring central value is known as measure of central tendency or measure of location or average. Coming to properties of good average or characteristics of good average. Should be average, should be good. So for that some properties are there. Consider a set of observation. From this set of observation we can have only one value. We should not have any other value. From this, if I calculate one value from this set of observation, we should get only one value, none other than this. If we get another value, it's not the good average. Hence, average should be rigidly defined. Rigidly means we should get only one value. We should not get other value. Coming to the set of observation, like there are 5 observations. Average is 30 of 10, 20, 30, 40. So adding those observations and divided by 5, number of observations 5. So average is 30. Consider another set of observations. Here I have missed the one observation 50. The average is 25. So because of one average missed, the average is changing. Hence, if any one of item is dropped or missed, the average is altered. Hence, the average should be based on all the observations. Let's one example, average of minus 100, 35, 40, 25. Here, so average 35 plus 40 plus 25, this becomes 100, this minus 100. Minus 100 plus 100 becomes 0. Consider another example, 40, 15, 25 and 200. Average of these 4 observations is 70 because of these 200 values. So of course average should be in this range, but because of one value, the average is changed, increased. So here the average is 0 because of one. This is minus 100 and 200 are the extreme values in the set of data. Because of one values, the average is changes. Hence, the extreme values may distort the average and reduce its usefulness. Hence, average should be least affected by extreme observations. Then only we can say that average is good. Consider population like a set of observations. From this set of observation, we can have samples. one from this population, one sample, the same population, another sample, another sample. There are 4 samples. So your samples are drawn carefully. Randomly we have selected. Out of 1000 observations, 10 observations we have selected. And later we calculate the average. Average for this observation, average for this, average. So here the difference between these averages should be least. Should be least. In that way, average which shows the least differences is stable and best. Based on this, we can say average is best. Hence, average should be least affected by fluctuations of sampling. This is a fluctuations of sampling. We have taken these different samples, but average, the difference between these averages are one value. We will get one value. Here one value. So the difference should be least. Consider another example. There are 5 observations with respect to one variety, one crop, yield. The yield observations is in yield. We can find out average for these observations. Consider another set of data. So there that is also yield. With respect to yield, we can find out these 5 observations, one average. Later, based using these 2 averages, we can have combined average. That is the best. If you use like this, the average, if you can calculate combined average, that is best. Average should be capable for further mathematical treatment means, so finding averages, then once again combined average is the further mathematical treatment. Hence, average should be capable for further mathematical treatment. Coming to properties or characteristics or prerequisites for good average. Average should be rigidly defined. It should be based on all the observations. It should be least affected by extreme observations. It should be least affected by fluctuations of sampling. It should be capable for further mathematical treatment. Now come to types of average. There are different averages: arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, mode, and median. There are 5 different averages. We will discuss one by one. Arithmetic mean, simply mean. Arithmetic mean is defined as the value obtained by dividing sum of all the observations by the total number of observations. AM is equal to sum of all the observations divided by total number of observations. Simply with the notation we can write like this: x bar is equal to x1 plus x2 plus up to xn divided by small n. This where x1, x2 up to xn are n observation. N is general observation, n number of observation, n is the number of observations. In short form, we can write x bar is equal to summation of x by n. X is the set of observations. Now find out arithmetic mean for 5, 10, 20. Consider there are 3 observations. Sum of all the observations divided by total number of observations. Using that formula, x bar is equal to 5 plus 10 plus 20 whole divided by number of observations are 3. 3 whole divided by 5 plus 10, 15, 15 plus 20, 35. 35 divided by 3 is equal to, calculator, or 35 divided by 3 is equal to 11.66. This is the arithmetic mean. Now come to properties of arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is rigidly defined. So earlier I explained general properties. Now coming to individual properties. Of course, AM is based on all the 3 observations. I have taken the same example. 11.6 is AM. So we got only one value. This arithmetic mean 11.6 is none other than 11.66. Hence, arithmetic mean is rigidly defined. Second property, its calculation based on all the observations. Of course, this arithmetic mean, it has considered all the observations to get the average. Find out the average to find out. So that's why it is based on all the observations. It is affected by extreme observation. Of course, it is based on all the observation. Obviously, it affects the arithmetic mean. So it is affected by extreme observations. AM is a stable average. AM is best among all the average because it satisfies all the properties of good average. So maximum properties it satisfies. That's why arithmetic mean is rigidly defined. It is a best, it's a stable average. Hence it is widely used average. So of course. Coming next property, the sum of the deviations of set of observations from their mean is 0. That is, summation of x minus x bar is equal to 0. So just I will explain this through one proof. Let's consider some observation, a simple set of data 5, 10, 15. There are 3 observations. Let's consider. So find out this mean of these things. Before mean, take the summation. Summation of x is equal to 5 plus 10, 15, 15, 30. So x bar is equal to 30 by 3. So that is formula is summation of x by n. Of course, summation of x is 30. N is 3 observations, 3. 30 by 3 is 10. So x bar is equal to 10. Now take the deviations, x minus x bar. X is 5, 5 minus x bar is 10, 10 is equal to 5 minus 10 is equal to 5 minus 5. So x is 10, x bar is 10, 0. 15 minus 10 is equal to plus 5. So take this summation of these things. That is summation of x minus x bar. The summation whole thing minus 5, 0 plus 5 is 0. That's why this property. Property is sum of the deviations. Sum of the deviations of set of observations from their mean is 0. This is a property. You take any type, any set of observation, you will get like this. That's a property of arithmetic mean. Now, next property, the sum of the square of the deviations of set of observations from their mean is minimum. Summation of x minus x bar square is minimum. I will take this with the proof. Same, I will take the same example 5, 10, 15. So already I got the x bar is 10. So x minus x bar is already in the previous values we got minus 5, 0 and plus 5. So now take this square. So 5, 25, 0, 25. So this summation of x minus x bar square is equal to here 50. So this 50 is the minimum value if I take this deviation from the mean. Instead of taking x bar minus x bar is 10, if I take other than the 10, if I instead of x bar 10, if I take 11 or 9 or 15, compared to all these values, this is value will be 50 is the minimum. We will get the deviation if I use x bar. That's the property of arithmetic mean. Instead of 10, if I take any other than 10, I will get the deviation values more. Hence, these are the properties of arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is rigidly defined. It's based on all the observations. It is affected by extreme observations. AM is a stable average, widely used average, and the summation of x minus x bar is equal to 0, and summation of x minus x bar square is minimum. Now come to situations to use arithmetic mean to find the average yield of crops. If I take if I have several observations to find out the average yield, I can use this arithmetic mean. If I say simply average, of course this arithmetic mean. To find average height of plants, if I 10 observations or 50 observations of plant height, if I want to find out average height, I should use arithmetic mean. to find average marks of the students. Come to second average geometric mean, GM. Geometric mean is defined as nth root of the product of n positive observations. N positive observations. So simply geometric mean is equal to nth root of x1 or x2 up to xn. The product of all these observations, product of all these things and nth root. Simply I can write like this also, x1, x2 up to xn whole to the power of 1 by n. Nth root, instead of nth root, whole power 1 by n I can take. Here x1, x2, xn are the observations, n is the number of observations. Find out geometric mean for 5, 10 and 20. So here GM is equal to, so here how many observations? 3 observations. So we have to take cube root. 5 into 10 into 20. So in another way also I can take whole to the power 1 by 3. 5, 10, 20. So 50, 50 into 20, 1000. 1000 to the power of 3. So I can write 1000 as 10 to the power of 3 and 1 by 3. So 1 by 3, 1 by 3 cancels. Geometric mean is 10. This is simple. So calculation we have got round of 1000. So that's why we got like this. Here using scientific calculator, this will be the best. So first take the 5 into 20, 5, 10, 20, 5 into 10 into 20. So I got 1000. 1000, the product of all these things. So instead of 1 by 3, in calculator we have to take 1000, then take the power symbol, like power symbol. Then in scientific calculator, take the open bracket, then 1 divided by 3, close the bracket, enter. 1 divided by 3, close the bracket, enter, you get 10. Here, the common mistake what you do, if you don't use these brackets, it will take automatically the wrong results. Of course, if I take without bracket 1000 power 1 divided by 3, in calculator this power symbol is there. So here automatically if you want to use brackets, it will take 1000 for 1 as a power, then divided by 3, answer will be 333.3. Okay, that average should be in this range only. That should be price between 5, 10, 20 only. That's why you should use these brackets in scientific calculator. Of course, here 3 cube root is there. Sometimes 10 through 10 observation. In that case, scientific calculator is better. Now come to properties of geometric mean. Geometric mean is rigidly defined. Already explained in the general properties. So from these 3 observations, I got only 10 is a geometric mean, not other than the 10. Hence, so only we got one value geometric mean. Hence, geometric mean is rigidly defined. Its calculation is based on all the observations. Of course, it has considered 5, 10, 20. It's not neglected any observation. So it is based on all the observations. If any one observation is 0, this is an additional property. If any one observation is 0, instead of 5, if I take 0, then what will happen? Geometric mean becomes 0. If any one observation is 0, geometric mean becomes 0. If any one observation is negative, instead of 20 plus 20, if I take minus 20, plus 5, plus 10, minus 20, product of all these things, if I want to find your geometric mean, if one observation is negative, then geometric mean does not exist. Does not exist. You can try. Come to third property. It is affected by extreme observation. Of course, it is based on all the observation. It automatically will affect. Next property. If there are 2 observations, we have to take square root. Of course, if only x1 and x2, we have to take square root. If 3 observations, we have to take cube root. If nth root, n observation, we have n for nth observation, we have to take nth root, obviously n. It's a general formula. That's why geometric mean is equal to nth root of product of all the n observations, n positive observations. Come to the overall properties. Geometric mean is rigidly defined. So its calculation depends on the observation. If any one observation is 0, geometric mean becomes 0. If any one observation is negative, geometric mean does not exist. It is affected by extreme observations. If there are 2 observations, square root. If there are 3 observations, cube root. If there are n observations, nth root. Coming to situations of geometric mean. So of course I have taken the only simple observation 5, 10, 20, but particular situations are there to use geometric mean. Geometric mean is used when the data are in the ratios or proportions or percentages or in logarithms. We should use geometric mean. Hence it is used to find the average ratios, average percentages, average proportions, average rates of change or relative change. And examples, rate of population growth, rate of interest, rate of production. In those situations, we have to use geometric mean. Also, to construct the index numbers, we will use geometric mean. So, another property of this one, geometric mean. Come to another average harmonic mean, HM. Harmonic mean is defined as the reciprocal of the arithmetic mean of the reciprocal of the individual observations. So here none of which is 0. So of course here we have taken reciprocal of the arithmetic mean of the reciprocal of the individual means. So here first summation of x, this is a arithmetic mean. Reciprocal of this one means n by summation of x. Then here reciprocal of the arithmetic mean of the reciprocal of individual means once again reciprocal of this one n divided by summation of 1 by x. This is the harmonic mean. So in particularly harmonic mean, we can write like this: Hm is equal to n divided by 1 by x1 plus. So this is the expansion of this one only. Same. Both the things we can have things. So summation of 1 by x means 1 by x1 plus 1 by x2 plus up to 1 by xn. Here x1, x2, xn are the observations. N is the number of observations. Find out harmonic mean for 5, 10, 20. So here there are 3 observations. Same example I am taking. Hm is equal to 3 observations. Instead of n, we have to write 3 observations. 1 by x1, 1 by 5 plus 1 by 10 plus 1 by 20 is equal to 3 divided by 1 by 5 is 0.2. 1 by 10 is 0.1 plus 1 by 20. 1 by 20 is 0.05 whole divided by 3, 0.2 plus 0.1 plus 0. So 0.35. 0.2 plus 0.1 plus 0.05. 0.0. So finally 3 divided by 0.35 is equal to 8.57. 8.57 is the harmonic mean. In this way, we can calculate harmonic mean. Here, the common mistake what you do here, instead of taking one individual reciprocal, sometimes you may take here 3 divided by 1 divided by 5 plus 10 plus 20. In this way, we can have, you will do the mistake. This is wrong. So instead of, if you observe this formula, you may get this type of. So prefer this one. You will get individual values, you have to reciprocal. Then this is correct. So this is the wrong. This is a common mistake. Come to properties of harmonic mean. HM is rigidly defined. Of course, from these three observations, we got only one value, that's a 8.57, not other than the 8.57. Hence, this is rigidly defined. Second property, its calculation based on all the observations. Of course, it has considered 5, 10, 20 based on all the observations. If any one observation is 0, it's an additional property of this harmonic mean. If any one observation is 0, HM cannot be calculated. Why? This, if any one observation is 0, if 5 is instead of 5, if I take 0, this whole thing divided by whole thing becomes 1 divided by 0, this becomes infinity. So we lost one observation here. If I take here 0, 1 by 0 is becomes 1 by 0 is infinity. So that's why HM cannot be calculated. And if any one observation is both positive and negative observation, instead of is a plus 5, if I take instead of 10 minus 5, plus 5 minus 5 both becomes 0. If I add those things, both become 0, that's why HM cannot be calculated. Hence, if any one observation is both positive or negative, HM cannot be calculated. Third property, it is affected by extreme observation. Of course, it is based on all the observations. Obviously, it will affect. Properties, HM is rigidly defined. Its calculation based on all the observations. If any one observation is 0, HM cannot be calculated. If any observation is both positive and negative, observation HM cannot be calculated. It is affected by extreme observations. Now come to situations to use harmonic mean. Of course, simply to explain, I have taken the simple observations 5, 10, 20, but particular situations are there to use harmonic mean. HM is used when the observations are expressed in rates. Rates means having relation between two different types of measuring units. Like it is used to find out average speed, distance by time. So here the distance is rates like kilometer and time is per hour. So two units are there. That's why expressed in rates, having relation between two different types of measuring units. Here this measured in one unit, this measured in another unit. So in this case, to find out average speed, we have used harmonic mean. Of course, to person travels from a place A to place B, certain 10 km per hour, then returns 15 km per hour. In this case, to find out average speed, we have used harmonic mean. In that case, the observation is 10 and 15. X1 is 10, X2 is 15, and N is observation is 2. We have to use harmonic mean formula, not the arithmetic mean. And also another case, average price. To find out average price, money divided by quantity. Of course, two observations with respect to two units. Rupees per quantity. In this case, we have this rule. Money is in rupees, quantity is in kg or quintal, like that. And also average work done per hour. Work done, so work done in some certain area, work done having the harvest is completed in the 5 acre, 10 acre. This is 1 unit, and time is in hours. That's in another unit. In these cases, we have to use harmonic mean. Another type of average, mode. Mode is the observation which occur maximum number of times in the set of data, or the observation which occurs most frequently in the set of data. Frequently it will occur. It is predominant in the set of data. Right, so I am taking one example. Find out mode for 2, 5, 4, 3, 7, 8, 6. The observation which occur maximum number of times. Here, in this set of data, all the observations are in only once. Only once. Another example, here in this set of observation, so which number is repeated maximum number of times? So here, the 4 is repeated 3 times. So that's the maximum more number of times. Hence, mode is 4. Another example, 2, 4, 5, 4, 3, 7, 5, 8, 6. Here, in this, 4 is repeated 5 times and 4 is repeated 2 times and 5 is repeated 2 times. Here the both two observations repeated 2 times. Hence here the case is different. That's why the first case is no modal value. There is no mode in this data. Here all the observations are repeated only once. For second observation, the value is mode is 4. Hence that's a unimodal. Only one modal value. And the last example is there are 2 modal values. That's why it's a bimodal case. So here generally mode means the observation which occur maximum number of times. Here the 4 is repeated maximum number of times. Hence mode is 4. I am considering the same examples. Here this is no modal case, this is unimodal case, this is bimodal case. In this properties of mode will be mode is ill-defined. So this is a special property compared to previous averages. Previous ones all are rigidly defined, but this is ill-defined when if more than one modal value occurs. So here what to think? We should get only one value from the set of data. So previously I have explained both those things here, but in this example we are getting 2 values for mode. Hence mode is ill-defined. Second property, it is not based on all the observations. Of course, in this set of observation, 4 is repeated 3 times, hence mode is 4. But it's not bothering about 5, 2, and other things. That's why it is not based on all the observations. It is based on only one observation. It is not affected by extreme observation. Of course, extreme observations won't repeat here. It's not at all affected by extreme observations. Of course, the 4 only is taking only 5. So the highest value is 5, 7. It's not taking any extreme values. Mode can be obtained from the histogram. So histogram, this is a histogram diagram. In the previous video I have explained histogram construction procedure also. Here in this histogram, if I have the point here intersecting and this point is the modal value. Around 25 or 26 is the modal value. Mode for this distribution. Mode for this continuous frequency distribution. In this way, we can find out mode from the histogram. Situations to use mode. Mode is used in business forecasting. In the particular situation, to find out the ideal size in the manufacture of ready-made garments. So usually ready-made garments manufacturing to maximum sizes usually 38, 40, 42. Those in these sizes, shirt sizes, they will produce more compared to 44, 46 sizes. So those who uses the size of shirt maximum, based on the maximum value, they will manufacture the garments. So there is also ideal size in the manufacture of shoes. So there are sizes, shoe sizes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So in all the sizes shoes are available, but usually 8, 9, those sizes they will produce more. Right? The users are more. Users are more means more number of times. That's why more in these cases it will be useful. Coming to next, average, median. Median is the middle observation in the set of data when the observations are arranged in the order of magnitude. Here, the set of observations we have to arrange in the order of magnitude. We have to take positive sign, negative sign, and also so in that way we have to arrange those observations. Then middle value will be more median. Find out median for 2, 4, 5, 4, 3, 7, 4, 8, 6. There are set of observations are there. Here, first thing what we have to do, we have to take in the order of magnitude. Ascending order is better, but generally order of magnitude, ascending or descending. Ascending order will be the easy method. Now I have taken the order of observation, least value 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. We should not neglect repeated values 5, 6, 7, 8. So all the observations are covered. How many observations? 4, 9 observations are there. Okay, in this middle observation, in the set of data when the observations are arranged in the order, arranged in the middle observation is here median is the middle term. Middle term means fourth is the middle term. Here 4 observations left, just 4 observations leave it. Middle is 4 and median is 4. This all observations are 9 here. So this is the example of odd number case. N is odd. N is number of observation. Here 9 observation. If there are n is even number, for example 8, 10, 12, in that case the method little bit changes. I have taken one example here. Only one observation is added here. 7 is added extra. So that's a 10th observation. So next is ascending order of magnitude. Then arranged in the order. So here median is the mean of the middle terms. Mean of the middle terms here, these are the values 4 and 5 are the middle values. Mean of the middle is 4.5. Hence median is 4. Mean of the middle means 4 plus 5 divided by 2 is the mean. So 4 plus 5 9, 9 divided by 2 is 4.5 is the median. I taken the same example. So this is a odd number case, but the even number case. Here median is 4. In that case 4.5. Formula method is another method. If n is odd, we have to use this formula. N plus 1 by 2 term is the median, where n is the number of observations. And when n is even number case, we have to use those formulas, n by 2 and n by 2 plus 1 terms. Now, I will take the same example. From the same example, n plus 1 by 2 term means n is here total n odd number case 9 observations are there, total 9 observations. So here 9 plus 1 by 2 term means 9 plus 1 10, 10 by 2 is fifth. Fifth term is the median. What is the fifth term? We have to arrange in the order here. These things already arranged for our convenience. Here arranged in the order means here 4 is the median based on fifth term. First term, second, third, fourth, fifth. Fifth term is 4. 4 is the median. Here n is even number case. So even mean of this one and mean of this one. N by 2. N by 2 is n by 2. N is total observations are 10 here. 10 observation divided by 2. This is fifth term. Then this formula n by 2. N by 2 plus 1 is n is 10 by 2 plus 1 is 5 plus 1 is sixth term. So mean of this and this, mean of fifth and sixth term. Fifth term is first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Fifth is 4. Sixth term is 5. So 4 and 5, mean of this 4 and 5 is 4.5. 4 plus 4 and 5 means 4 plus 5 divided by 2 is 9 by 2 is 4.5. In this way, we can find out median. We can find out median. So here, it is better to remember these formulas when certain case around, if more number of observation, around 50 observation or 70 observation, in that case we cannot find out the middle one. So that's why the formula is best. Come to properties of median. Median is rigidly defined. Why? So in this case also, in this set of data we got only one value, and this another set of data also we got only one value. This is the odd number, 9 observation, 10 observations. We got only one value. That's why median is rigidly defined. It is not based on all the observations. Of course, median is 4. It has taken only middle value. It's not bothering about other observations. Only it considers only 2. It is not based on all the observations, and it is not at all affected by extreme observations. Why? Here we are arranged in the order. So this list highest observation least and highest observation don't bother. So extreme, of course, if this is -2 also, median won't changes. If this is 800 also, it won't change. Only that's why it is not at all affected by extreme observations. Median can be obtained through ogive curves. Intersecting point of less than and more than ogive curves gives the value of the median of the set of data. Ogive curves means here, this is the ogive curves, this is the frequency distribution I have taken. Here this is less than ogive curve, this one is more than ogive curve. Intersecting point is this one. Intersecting point. So here, in this, here we will get the median around 24 or 25. In that case, we get the median value. Median divides the set of data into two equal parts. Of course, thus median is the positional average. Here, if this is set of data, this is taking middle value. So this median is a 4. This divides whole thing into two parts, 1 and 2. Same case, two parts. This is one part, this is another part. So only one median divides the whole series into two equal parts. Thus, this is a positional average. Coming to situations, median is the only average to be used while dealing with a qualitative data, which cannot be measured quantitatively. Example, in honesty, average intelligence, in that cases we will use median. Used when the data consists extreme values. Extreme values nothing but outliers. Already I told, for example, 5, 10, 200. So to find out average of these three observations, 5, 10 and 200, we have to use median. So extreme value, this is 200 is an extreme value. That's why I have to find out average wage. So person wages are varies. So in normal scenario, there will be a variation of one person wage, daily wage is 300 rupees. Another person per day wage is 3,000 or 3 lakh, 3 crore. So in that cases, to find out average wage, median is used. When extreme values are involved, we have to use median. Of course, also in distribution of wealth, to fix the above poverty line, below poverty line, we have to use median. But we should not use arithmetic mean or geometric mean. So in fixing the distribution of wealth means above poverty line, below poverty, the APL, BPL. So to fix to positional average, we have to use median. So up to this, I have explained about the different averages. Now coming to raw data and for group data, the problems on raw data and group data. So for group data, we can have the discrete frequency distribution and also continuous frequency distribution. Up to this, I already explained the problems on raw data. Now come to discrete frequency distribution. So this will calculate the arithmetic mean for the following data. Weight of seats 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Number of seats 2, 4, 5, 3, 1. So weight of seats, so weight is 10 gram and number of seats are 2. That means here there are 2 seats having 10 grams. There are 4 seats having 20 grams. There are 5 seats having 30 grams. Like that, there are 1 seat having 50 grams. This is hypothetical data. Coming to solution. So just for the calculation purpose, I made horizontal to vertical. Okay. So this is a discrete frequency distribution. For this, formula is arithmetic mean is equal to summation of f of x divided by n. For raw data, already we have studied am is equal to summation of x by small n. Here x is number of set of observation, n is number of observation. Here only thing is added summation of fx. F we have taken the product and this is not a small n, this is capital N. Okay, this is capital N. So here f is the frequency, x is the set of observation, n is total frequency. N is total frequency. Now calculate arithmetic mean for this set of data. Here this is observations, this is a frequency. weight of seeds, number of seeds. We have to product of f and x, f and x. So this is fx product. So 10 into 20, 20, 80, 40 into 50 into, okay. This is the total of all these things. Summation of f of x. Summation of f of x, 20 plus 80 plus 150 plus 120 plus 50. So total is 420. Total is 420. And we need capital N. Capital N, total of all these things. So capital N is nothing but summation of f. 2 plus 4 plus 6, 6 plus 5, 11, 11 plus 3, 14, 14 plus 1, 15. So 50. So for this formula, summation of fx is 420 divided by capital N is 50. 420 divided by 50. Here 28. AM is 28. So here with the value we have to write the unit. So observations are in grams. That's why this is AM is 28 grams. AM is 28 grams. Now coming to calculate the mole for the following. This is also discrete frequency distribution. Coming to solution. So I made the vertical columns. Here mode. Mode means for raw data, what we can say, it occurs maximum number of times. That is a mode. But here, mode is a value which is having maximum frequency in the set of observation. Of course, is a maximum frequency. This is 5 corresponding to 30. 30 is the mean. 30 is the mode for this distribution. The value which is having maximum frequency, 5 is the maximum frequency. So hence mode is 30. Of course, if I take these observations in the raw data, of course 30 is repeated maximum number of times, 5 times. From the raw data only we made discrete frequency distribution. That's why here mode is 30. Calculate the median for the following data. For same data I have taken here to save the time. So same data, solution. So I made a column wise data. So same. Here median is value corresponding to cumulative frequency just greater than n by 2. So here median is a value corresponding to cumulative frequency. We have to calculate cumulative frequency here. So usually less than cumulative frequency, we will calculate cumulative frequency here. So 2 plus, first we have to write 2, 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11, 11 plus 3 is 14, 14 plus 1 is 15. So this total capital N summation of f is equal to 15. This is both total is 15, at last also we will get a 15 value. So just greater than n by 2, we need n by 2. So n by 2 is 15, by 2 is 7.5, greater than 7.5. The value which corresponding to cumulative frequency just greater than n by 2 means greater than 7.5. Value which corresponds to cumulative frequency greater than 7.5 is this one. Greater than 7.5 is 11. So corresponding to this median is here you get. Don't write median is 11. Median is 30. With the median is a value which corresponds to cumulative frequency just greater than 7.5 is this one. So hence median is 30. Median is 30. Now coming to continuous frequency distribution. So this is continuous frequency distribution. Calculate arithmetic mean for the following data. Here the height of plants 5 to 10, 15 centimeter, 15 to 25, 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45 to 55 centimeter. So number of plants 2, 4, 5, 3, 1. Of course here there are 2 plants which having height 5 to 15 centimeter. There are 5 plants which having heights between 25 to 35 centimeters. In this way, we can have interpretation from this tables. Coming to solution, so I made a columns from this horizontal table. So I made a vertical columns. For this arithmetic mean, we have the formula like this. Arithmetic mean is equal to summation of Fm divided by capital N. Here, of course, for raw data, Am is equal to summation of x by n, and for discrete, summation of Fx by capital N. But here, instead of x, m. So F is nothing but frequency. Here also capital N is the total frequency. Instead of x, m. M means midpoints of class. So of course this is a continuous frequency distribution. We need midpoints of this class intervals. How to get midpoint? Lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. So midpoint. Midpoint here. 5 plus 15 is 20. 20 by 2 is 10. 15 plus 25 is 40. 40 by 2 is 20. Like this, 25 plus 35 is 60. 60 by 2 is 30. Like 30, 40, 50. In this way, we can have the midpoints here. So then, product of these things, F and M. F, M. 2 into 10, 20. 4 into 20 is 80. 5 into 30, 150. 120. 50. So total is, here this one is total summation of Fm is equal to, of course the values looks this two values in the previous discrete frequency distribution only. Of course this total is 420. Only to explain the problems I have taken the same data, but it looks here previous one is weight of seats, this one is height of plant. That's all. Here total is 420 and this capital N is 50. Of course, Am is equal to summation of Fm, summation of F420. 420 divided by capital N is 50. The previous is 28. Of course, 420 divided by 15 is 20. But here the unit is in centimeter. Previous one is grams. With respect to arithmetic mean, now centimeter. Here Am is 28 centimeter. That unit is important for this problem. If there is no unit, here only simply this one is class interval, this is only frequencies. Generally, then 28 is sufficient. But here unit is involved here. That's why we have to take unit for the answer. Now coming to mode. Mode for the following data, the same data, continuous frequency distribution. Coming to solution, here formula is different. Mode is equal to L plus F minus Fp divided by 2F minus Fp minus Fg into W. So this is same I have taken the vertical, but here the explanation is like here. Before explanation, the class which is having maximum frequency is known as modal class. The class which is having maximum frequency, this one 25 to 35 is the modal class. 25 to 35 is the modal class, and L is the lower limit of the modal class, 25. F is the frequency of the modal class, 5. This one is L. I will take the values. L is 25, lower limit of the modal class. Then F is the frequency of the modal class, 5. Then minus Fp. Fp means frequency of the preceding to the modal class. Frequency of the preceding to the modal class means this one. This is Fp. This is F. Then frequency of the succeeding to the modal class. This is Fs. Then width of the modal class is width. The 35 minus 25 is the width. So of course I am substituting those values. Frequency of the modal class is 5. 5 substituted. Fp is 4, then 2f. 2 into f is frequency 5 minus Fp is 4 minus Fs is 3. Here W is the width, is 35 minus 25 is 10. Of course, 25 plus 5 minus 1, 4 divided by 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 6 minus 3 is 3 into 10. So this becomes 25. So don't neglect this bracket, otherwise calculation will go wrong. 25 plus 1 by 3 into 10 is 10 by 3. 10 by 3 is 3.33 is equal to 28.33. That unit is in centimeter. So this is the 28.33 centimeter is the modal value for this distribution. If you ignore this bracket, sometimes you will take addition value for this lower limit, then at last you will take multiplication with the width. That's why, so within the bracket, calculate the things, then take summation of this lower limit. Coming to median, so calculate the median. So for the same distribution, coming to solution, table, then formula. Median is equal to the lower limit, then n by 2, n is the total frequency, CFP. CFP means cumulative frequency just prior to the median class. Here we should know what is median class here. The class corresponding to cumulative frequency just greater than capital L by 2 is the median class. So here we have to find out median class. So before this we need cumulative frequency. So we need cumulative frequency 2 plus 4 6, 6 plus 5 11, 11 plus 3 14, then 15. So here capital N is 15. This also last value is 15. Just I will take the values for these things. L is the lower limit. So before this we need median class here just greater than n by 2. Capital N by 2 is capital N by 2 is capital N is 15. 15 by 2 is 7.5. 7.5 means just greater than this one. Already we calculated the previous. So the class which corresponds to cumulative frequency just greater than 7.5 is this 25 to 35 is the median class. 25 to 35 is the median class. Now this is a median class, then lower limit of the median class. So here for the L I will take 25 plus n by 2 already calculated 7.5, then minus CFP. Cumulative frequency just prior to the median class. Cumulative frequency just prior to the median class means this one. This is CFP, so 6. Then this one F. What is F here? Frequency of the median class. This one frequency of the median 5 into W is width of the median class. 35 minus 25 is 10. Now 25. So 1.5 divided by 5 into 10. Here 25 plus 1.5 into 10 is 15. 15 by 5 is 3. 28. The unit is centimeter. So median for this distribution is 28 centimeter. We can calculate in this way. Only thing is here, with this formula we should know what is median class, then we can have these notations. The whole problems with respect to measures of center tendency I made in one table for arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, mode, median. For the raw data, these are the formulas, methods, and for discrete frequency distribution, these are the method, and for continuous frequency distribution, these are the method. So AM summation of x by n, and geometric mean nth root of product of n observation, HM n by summation of 1 by x, mode is the maximum number of times, and median is the middle term, and discrete frequency distribution, AM is equal to summation of fx by capital N, here small n, here f comes, and capital N, this with respect to arithmetic mean, and continuous frequency distribution. GM and HM are not mentioned here, and mode is the value which is having maximum frequency, and this is the same thing method, the value corresponding to cumulative frequency just greater than n by 2, and for continuous frequency distribution, instead of x, m here midpoint, this is formula for arithmetic mean, and this mode, and for continuous frequency distribution, only I have mentioned the formula here. Coming to last the things here, relationship between different averages. Of course, with different averages, some relations are there. Consider three observations, 5, 10, and 20. The same, it will simplify the things. That's all. For these three observations, arithmetic mean already I have calculated in the previous slides. 11.66, geometric mean is 10, harmonic mean is 8.57. Based on these three results, I can say arithmetic mean is greater than, geometric mean greater than harmonic mean. And consider 5, 5, and 5. All these observations are equal here. 5, identical. In that case, of course, arithmetic mean is 5, GM 5, HM 5. In this situation, I can say arithmetic mean is equal to, geometric mean is equal to harmonic mean. But the relation based on these two, I can say arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to GM or greater than or equal to HM. This is the actual relation here based on these two. Okay, this relation is suits for both the situation. Coming to next property here, geometric mean is equal to square root of AM into HM. Or we can remove this square root and we can write here square here. So GM square is equal to AM into HM. Sometimes if I want to calculate geometric mean based on these two values, I can use this formula. Or if based on the GM and HM, I can find out arithmetic mean also using this formula. The next is, if mode is ill-defined, means bimodal case or trimodal case, in these cases are nothing but for the moderately skewed distribution. In this way also we can say mode is ill-defined. In this situation, we have to use this formula to find out mode. In some cases, mode is ill-defined. Bimodal case, if you want to calculate mode, we have to find out median and mean and substitute, then get the mode value. And also another formula also we can use, mean minus mode is equal to 3 of mean minus median. So in different format I can written here. That's all. Mode here, 3 median, 2 mean. So I have taken the extra mean here, then mean comes here, and here also 3 comes. So both are same here. Both the formulas we can use to calculate mode. In brief, the whole video I am going to explain in the one single slide. We already explained the measures of central tendency or measure of location or average. What is the central tendency? What is average? Then I explained the properties of good average, different properties to satisfy the average is good. And also I explained the types of averages: arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, mode, and median. And properties of each averages I explained, and also situations to use each average, and also problems on raw data, and also discrete frequency distribution and continuous frequency distribution. At last, I explained the relationship between different averages. Okay, thank you.